So if you're thinking about starting your own business, there's a few things you need to know that most people won't tell you. And it doesn't matter, if I'm talking trade work. I'm talking electricians, roofers, plumbers, concrete guys, whatever. I'm a masonry guy. I build outdoor fireplaces, things like that, foundations, whatever, brick, block, stone. I specialize in fireplaces. But look, when you're doing custom work, finish work like these fireplaces, foundations, if it's square, it's level, it ain't sloppy, and it's what it is. You got an easy standard to reach, and around Nashville there's a low standard right now, which is crazy, unseen, unheard of. But anyway, you go to school, you got your money put back for your, you got to have so much to be bonded and all that stuff. You got your license and everything. They teach you about snow loads and drainage and all this stuff. One thing they don't teach you is human basic psychology. You've got to have a decent grip on psychology to keep yourself from getting put in a situation. And a lot of this just comes with experience. When you get out on a job and you lose your butt, you're going to learn. Well, these homeowners, and they're not all bad. Homeowners are like, the tradesmen, the contractors. Some are good, some are bad. Some are in between, some are extreme, whatever. But you've got to go meet this homeowner on their job site at their house, like if they want me to build a fireplace. I've got about 10 or 15 minutes to figure out the personality of that person before I decide. And you say, well, why don't you charge a flat rate? Well, basically, I do charge a flat rate per foot, per linear foot tall. I don't do square foot on fireplaces. But anyway, you've got to be careful, because when you do what I call my opening speech, that's when I give, my information about me, my expectations, and what I think, your expectations should be, X, Y, Z. 99% of the time, you don't have a problem. But every now and then, and I'm going to give you a couple examples. I've done a job for a couple. The wife called me. They lived in Florida. The husband was a plumber. That's a red flag. If you've got somebody in any other building trade, proceed very carefully, because they do know some stuff. But they know a lot about their trade, and they know just a little about yours, and they don't understand. They may not understand that a decision you make at 2 foot high is going to affect everything all the way up to 20 foot high. They don't understand that. It may sound like a good idea to them, but it may not be a good idea. I done a job. They called me. The wife called me, wanted a fireplace. They'd had fireplaces before. It didn't draw smoke, and she wanted a fireplace that drew smoke. I'm that guy. So anyway, I made the deal with her. I said, who's going to do your foundation and your footer? She said, did you just have to talk to my husband about that? I said, well, give me his number. And she said, well, you just talk to him when he gets up there. He'll be, it'll be a couple months, X, Y, Z. This has been a couple years back. Well, I found out later, I realized why she didn't give me his number. This is the hardest dude I've ever dealt with in my life. He will talk over you, answer your questions. And when you've got somebody like that, you cannot explain anything to them, because they're busy trying to explain everything that they want you to know. It's all about getting their ideas over on you, which, from a personal standpoint, it is what it is, whatever. But when I'm doing a job for you, you need to understand how I'm going to do this job and all that. Well, we made the deal. He'd already messed up. He hired the same guy that spread all of his dirt to dig his footer with a 4 foot bucket, 4 foot wide bucket. Here in Tennessee, we use the ground for a footer. So he dug the footer, paid for the footer 3 times. He dug the footer, bought plywood to form it down inside what we would originally call the footer. The guy that was helping him had to go back to Florida because it just took him a lot longer than they thought it was going to take. So then he had to pay me to come in and help frame it up. Paid for it 3 times, maybe 4. But anyway, when I would have took a mini X up there, dug it one time, been, driving steel on the ground, boom, boom, boom. Well, what got the first couple red flags, I called him a couple days. I asked him about it. He said, I've got the footer. Well, I called him a couple days later. I was expecting concrete to be in there. He's like, I'm waiting on my wood. I said, what wood? I don't understand what you're saying. Oh, I'm forming it. I was like, oh, God. Well, anyway, so I get up there, and I told him, I made a deal with him on the block and the fireplace. And I told him, I said, I do the fireplace first. I establish my corners on my foundation. Then I do the fireplace first. Once I establish that wall and where it goes, that way I can get everything in and out, Part of this is how I keep my costs down. And he said, oh, you can't do that. They're going to be here to work on the floor. I said, you cannot get somebody in here working on the floor until I'm done. Oh, it's okay. They'll be over here in this corner. I said, man, you don't understand. It's going to take me 2 weeks to do this. It'll be all right. We'll work it out. So I told him, I said, all right. So he went back to Florida, come back. He talked me into doing the foundation first, which I didn't want to do. So what I done is I went and got all my material inside the foundation. Finished the foundation. I was starting the fireplace the day they come back. So when he gets back, he says, you got to get all that stuff out of there. I said, why? He said, they're doing the floor. I said, no, we've done talked about this, man. He said, well, I said, I can't set my scaffold up or nothing. He said, you can set it on the floor. I said, well, then it's not going to be level with the outside. Part of my deal is, I walk all the way around it. And to make a long story short, man, I come in 2 days later. I agreed to that. I messed up by agreeing to that. I come in 2 days later. They already had the walls up to my fireplace walls to where I couldn't even put scaffold boards out through there. I said, listen, man, I can't fly out there and lay this stuff, Well, anyway, it was just turned out to be a nightmare. And what I've learned is you have to establish boundaries. And anything they do, see, they don't realize this. They don't realize he changed my whole process of how I do that job, which changed my labor time, made me there a lot longer. If I'd have known that in the beginning, I'd have charged him for that, because, and that's perfectly fair and understandable. When a homeowner makes a decision that takes you longer, that should be instantly, in the situation, I needed the job, and I just went along with what I should have done is backed up and said, no, hold up, we got to renegotiate. And that's what you've got to do when you find yourself in those situations. That's why it's good to put pen to paper, put it in text message, whatever you got to do. Anyway, this video's going long, so I'm going to go. I can't even make a short out of it now, but you've got to understand people. You'll have some homeowners that you'll agree to do a fireplace for them, and they'll get on the internet and they'll see something that's got something over here extra on it, and they'll think because it's on the internet, it's supposed to be on theirs. Wasn't nothing to do with the original deal you made. I mean, it's just insane, man, what they, they'll get out there and watch you and not understand your process, and, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Like I said, the majority of the time, it goes smooth. I have to tell them up front, I'm selling you a completed unit. I do not work for you by the hour. I get here at different times, different days, whatever. I may work, whatever. I'm hauling all these material myself. Don't focus on none of that. You go to my website, you see my pictures, my reviews, you decided you trusted me, trust me till it's done. If there's an issue, we'll talk about it when I'm done. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody coming out asking me questions. Well, how do you do this? How do you do that? That's fine. But you cannot let them get into your building process and change, tweak things because they think they've got a better idea. You cannot do that. You just can't. And you have to establish boundaries about what the stone are going to look like. You can't just let them go pick their own stone, and because all stone are different. They require different things to lay in them. Some of them have to be grinded and everything. It's just a mess, man. But you really do your homework and understand the mentality of the brain. And just like, I'll give you another example. That guy and the one after him was the same way. Well, similar, but different. And when you tell them what they've done that's costed you a bunch of money, what they instantly go to, and both these guys done this. One of them's wife. He's a good guy. Listen, has nothing to do with your morality. I know you didn't intend to cost me money, but at the end of the day, you being a good guy, it doesn't matter. It still costs me money. That doesn't change that fact. It doesn't change facts. Intentions don't change facts, And like I tell people sometimes, we judge ourselves off our intentions, but we judge the rest of the world off their actions. It's just a crazy thing, man. Be careful out there in the contracting world.